Good morning, evening, and afternoon. I am the Professional, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the roadmap for Lost Ark, covering the months of June and July. So how this video is going to work is first, we are going to do the TLDR version to save you guys some time. And then after that, I'm going to jump into it a little bit more in depth and also give you my personal opinion as a free-to-play player of what I feel of this roadmap. So let's go ahead and jump into it. New classes will be released every 2 months for the rest of 2022, which basically means 2 new classes by the end of this year. They will also give out a Punica Power Pass sometime this summer, and they are working on finalizing a new Express event as well. No dates for those exactly as of yet. The roadmap in general covering June, a new Legion Raid, Vikus. Normal mode will be entry at 1430 eye level and hard mode will be at 1460. There's a new Guardian Raid, KUNGELANIUM, a turtle variation, and the entry level is 1460. They will also be releasing a Throne Spire, which is a single player dungeon with 50 total floors. This works in basically the same way as the Shadow Spire and Fate Spire, with a few differences once you reach floor 26. Entry requirements of an eye level of 1325. There's also new store cosmetics and a new item called the Yaz's Jar, which can be used to obtain different cosmetic items at chance. You do not get to select the skin that you want. Covering July, the Arcanist Class will be released, which is a mage advanced class that uses magical cards. The Valtan Legion Raid Inferno difficulty, which is the scale of balance where everyone is set and locked to the raid requirements. So higher level item players will be reduced down. The gate progression does not work with Inferno mode, and it will not count against your weekly attempts. This requires an eye level of 1445 to enter. The Challenge Abyssal Dungeons, this works just like the current Guardian event. It applies the scales of harmony to equalize your power, and the rewards are also similar. So that's going to be it for the TLDR version. We are going to dive a little bit more in depth to these now, and I'm going to give you a little bit more of my personal opinion on some of these changes. The first thing that I want to talk about is the team update, the advanced class release cadence. Smelazon mentioned that they are releasing classes every 2 months, will help with the longevity of the game as it brings new players in and old players back in order to try out the new class. While I do agree with them on that point, I do not agree with the Arcanist being the next class. Anyone that is near the end game already knows that supports are extremely sought after, and the whole Bard for Hire is memeing for a reason. They also mentioned the Glavior and Destroyer release schedule, which did not make any sense to me. They wanted to release the Destroyer at or around the Valtan Legion Raid for players to begin leveraging the massive stagger damage in in-game activities. Yet, by releasing the Destroyer with Valtan, how many Destroyers have you actually seen in a Valtan raid? Unless you're swiping, you are not going to have a Destroyer in Valtan, as Valtan has only been available for 14 days. So I don't know why they included that in here, as it really doesn't have any relevance to what they are saying. So now let's talk about the Vykas Legion Raid. Personally, I feel that June is a little too early for the release, and it should have been pushed back to July. Again, Valtan has only been cleared twice as of this date, but with the eye level system, I can see why they are trying to push out another Legion Raid. Since it was not mentioned for July, I'm assuming that the next Legion Raid will be in August, which will be a fairly well-needed break in between. And what I mean by that is that just helping people normalize and equalize their eye levels in order to perform in all of the content. The new Guardian Raid, KUNGELANIUM. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He is a frozen chromanium, probably the most boring Guardian in my opinion, so I really don't care about this other than it's going to be a very easy daily farm. Throne Spire. This works just like the other Spires, waves of enemies, defeat them all, progress to the next floor. This looks like they are just making a true tier 3 Spire for us. Nothing wrong with it. The Yaz's Jar, basically another RNG factor. You earn cloth, which can be put into the jar in order to have a chance at obtaining a new skin. You do not get to pick which skin, you only get to pick the class and type, meaning you get to pick an armor or weapon skin. You put the cloth into the jar, it picks your skin completely at random, and then you can either break it down, you can sell it, or you can use it. This is just something to help milk a little bit more of the money. Personally, I just really don't care about that. The new class, the Arcanist, relies on magical cards to do damage. When landing attacks, it charges the card meter. Once the meter is completely charged, a card with random stats registers on the card deck, which can then be pulled out and used. Personally, if I am doing low DPS, then I want it to be because I am doing something wrong, and it's something I can fix by get good. However, with the Arcanist, if you're doing low DPS, it could just be because you have horrible luck. It sounds like a fun and energizing class, but it does not sound like a class that I would want to have as my main. I will, however, of course, be doing a guide on this class when it first comes out, and that's probably where it will be parked for the remainder of its Lost Ark lifecycle. The Valtan Inferno mode. For completing this, you get special cosmetics, titles, and achievements. Personally, I think it's a great mode, and especially with it not affecting your regular lockouts, you are able to complete this as many times as you'd like. The last thing is the challenge Abyssal dungeons. Works just like the current Guardian challenge. Personally, I have no problems with it and overall like the mode, as it's somewhat refreshing to run through the older content again, just as a change of pace. Plus, the addition of extra materials is never a bad thing. So that is it for the June and July roadmap. You just heard my personal thoughts on it. Let me know your personal thoughts down below in the comments. I'm really interested to hear how people are feeling about the new Legion Raid being introduced and where you guys are at with your current eye level. If you like the video, then hit that thumbs up button for me. I greatly appreciate it, and it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. If you like this kind of content and information, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as I do try to cover a lot of the major Lost Ark news and events. And I will see you in the next one. Happy raiding.